Hi, I'm Don May, and thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching my videos as well. Let's get to the point. The title of this particular video is Yes, Get to It. Not get to yes, but yes, get to it. Sounds kind of funny, doesn't it? But you want to know something? Do you want to buy some houses? Have you ever bought a house before? Have you bought more than one? Have you ever bought a house without going to the bank? Have you ever bought a house without using your personal FICO credit score? Have you ever bought a house without having to put a down payment of any kind on it with no banks involved? This is cool stuff. And I'm talking at any condition, at any price. I mean, when you say any price, obviously you're not going to overpay because you're a professional now. You want to be able to buy at a wholesale price, not retail. Retail is what tourists pay. Wholesale, that means you already know going in you're the pro and you're going to make a profit. That's the expectation that you want that seller to recognize. Now when I say yes, get to it, the only reason you can't buy a house on your own, the only reason that you don't do what I'm telling you to do, and the only reason you haven't done it yet, is because you haven't sat down, taken out a piece of paper, a very simple one, and wrote an offer. Oh, you gotta write an offer. And here's what I mean by that. Because I'm right in the middle of doing this now, we're a few more days into it, buying 50 houses in 100 days without ever going to the bank and literally without ever going to the bank, just knocking on the door saying, hi, how are you? And I'm not talking all cash either because I don't have any lenders on the hook that want to do it. This is purely with the mind of creativity. So here's what happens. I write an offer. If I have taken the time to talk to you about your house, even though I'm not buying it, even though it's overpriced, it's not in great enough condition, whatever the issues is, if I have literally qualified you enough to meet the ingredients that I need to go forward with and came to you, sat down with you, and made a proposal or a presentation with you to buy the property, and you did not sell it to me, what that means is, at this moment, it didn't work. But I absolutely will write you a written offer, put it in an envelope, and either hand carry it to you or mail it to you. If you had me ever speak to you, I'm writing you an offer. I've written ridiculous offers. I've written crazy offers. I average 10 offers per day, every day. 300 offers a month is a significant number. So what? It's a lot of writing, it's a lot of hand cramping, it's a lot of signatures and copying and stamps and licking envelopes. So what? 10 a day, 10 a day. It's like magic, work those numbers. So when I say yes, get to it, what that means is, look, write the offer. The only thing they're going to say is yes or no. So get to it, write the offer. Oh, but I don't want to, I'm afraid, I'm scared, I don't have the money, I don't know what to say. Don't worry about it. Why? Why not worry about it? Because the seller, they don't know what to say. They don't know how much money they get. They don't know what you're going to do either. They know less than you do. So don't worry about it. But here's what I do want you to know. If a person says, hey, I want you to buy my house, what's the answer? Okay, yes. If everything you tell me checks out, which I'm sure it will, and it makes economic sense for both of us, yes, I will buy your house. So, when you say yes to anybody who says they want you to buy their house or they want to sell you a house, does that mean that you're guaranteed to be the person to buy it? No. What that means is, yes, takes the house off the market. Yes, psychologically calms the seller and makes them more relaxed, knowing you're the guy they're going to target to get what it is that they want. Remember, you said yes, as long as everything they said checks out, and you have no reason to believe that it won't, and it makes financial, feasible, economic sense to you, meaning me as the buyer. So if both of us can walk away with a win-win, I'm the buyer. Isn't this great? So that's why I'm saying, yes, I will buy your house. So now what we do is we make an appointment and we go see them. Oh, by the way, an appointment is now. When somebody says, let's make an appointment, make it now. People selling their houses and they have made the decision, I'm selling my house. That's it. You can tell in the voice if they're true or not. I was thinking of selling my house. What do you think I could get for it? That's not really motivated. But when a person says, look, I'm selling my house. I was going to go talk to a realtor, but I heard you're a buyer. Well, here's the deal. This is what I want. This is how much, and blah, blah, blah. You ask them the who, what, when, where, why, and how. The 6 honest men from the previous videos. And then you find out that, yes, I'm buying it. When you say that, that literally transfers all the positive energy that that seller has to you to help you buy his house. Now he's invested in your success, he or she, invested in your success. So when somebody says something like that, make sure and take into consideration. Look, I don't say, no, I don't want your house. I've never said, no, I don't want it. I'm going to go down the street and get that one. I'll say that once I'm inside the house, talking to them about buying it. But my first contact is always, yes, I will buy your house. Somebody calls me up and says, I got a letter from you in the mail. I was interested. Are you interested in buying my house? Yes. If everything you say checks out, I have no reason to believe that it doesn't. And as long as it makes fiscal and financial sense to me as well, and both walk away smiling, yes, I will buy your house. Somebody says, I got a little postcard in the mail that said something about you buy houses. Yes, I do, and I will buy yours too. Let's make an appointment. We'll sit down and talk. No big deal. Somebody calls me up and says, I know you probably don't want my house because, it's an investor house, it's empty, it's junky, and I want too much for it. And I go, you're probably right. Yes, I will buy your house. As long as everything you tell me checks out, which there's no reason to believe that it wouldn't, and it's financially and fiscally responsible for me to do it, and we both walk away with a win-win. Is that fair enough? Or you want me to win as much as you? Yes? Then great, I will buy your house. That little sentence wipes people out. How is it that I can write 10 offers in a day? Because everybody I talk to who's got a house for sale, I tell them, yes, I will buy your house. Remember, I got no realtors involved. I got no agents involved. I got nobody in the middle of me. I walk down the street knocking on the door saying, hi, how are you? I'm in the neighborhood and I'm looking to buy a house. It must be a great neighborhood. You live here. You may know somebody who has a house for sale. And if you do, that's great because, wow, I'm not a realtor. I can pay you a fat referral fee if I buy that house, and when it closes, I give you the money in cash. 4 $100 crisp bills just for referring me a house that I actually bought. At the closing table, I walk over and pay it to you myself. That simple. And purely because you gave me the referral, I absolutely will going to be buying you lunch, whether I close on it or not. And typically, that I go to like a Mimi's or a place that costs $25, $30. That's it. Very simple. Get a ton of referrals. Not a ton, but I get a lot of referrals. I get a lot of people who say, I have one lady that collected $2,000 for referring me 5 separate houses that I bought. Now, she referred more than 5, but I bought 5. All private parties, all people she knew. She called me up and goes, now listen, I got my Rolodex out and I'm going through all my relatives who I think want to move, and guess what? I just learned that this one just had a baby, one of my nieces, and they want to move, and they own 2 houses, and they're going to another part of the state, need to sell them both, and they don't need the money. They both got great jobs at an insurance company, and gee, they're just stuck with these houses, and they don't want to pay a real estate commission. Nothing wrong with paying commissions, nothing wrong with using realtors, nothing wrong with that at all. It's just not my way. And I will tell you something. When you can get a referral fee paid to somebody of $2,000, that's $400 5 times. They gave you 5 houses. Your average house is $150,000. They gave you $750,000 in referrals that you bought at no less than at least a 10, maybe 15% discount. So you pick up $250,000 worth of equity for free, and you paid $2,000 for the referral from somebody else. Oh, yes. Get to it. Write an offer. Get people to talk to you. Don't be afraid of what to say. They don't know what to say either. Don't be afraid. It was interesting because I was walking down this one street, and it was in what we call the Inland Empire of Southern California. It's a hotbed of opportunity. I should share that with you. And I don't mind sharing it with you because, I don't have any competition. The people, they're too afraid to do what I do. And because people are so afraid to do that, I get the properties. There's a couple of guys out there, but they're not really doing it. And there's so many properties. Oh my gosh, they're everywhere. Everywhere. I have people calling me everywhere. It's fantastic. So I go like this. I was walking down the street, and this lady's there. She goes, what are you doing? And I said, I'm just walking down the street, talking to people, and talking about what? About buying their house. Now, do you own yours? Well, yeah, but mine's not for sale. Now, of course it's not for sale, but someday it will be. No, I'm going to stay at this house until, the end of my days. And I said, oh, come on now. Really? Yes. Well, how long do you think that'll be? Well, until I die. Well, when do you think that'll be? Well, I don't know. Well, someday it's no longer going to be your house. Someday is where I want to be. So why don't you just, at this time, satisfy all those uninvestigated events that are going to happen in the future, like, God forbid, your demise, or you have to move, or, the end of your days. It's okay. I talk about it openly. It happens to all of us. That's one thing we can be guaranteed of. We will grow and we will die. So, someday. So, well, it might be 20, 30 years. I don't know. And I said, you know what? I'm willing to bet that you're going to sell it to me. Well, how's that possible? I says, because I'm going to ask you to give me the formal right to buy your house. And I want that formal right to protect you. And that means whenever that day is, I'm it. And the lady goes, well, how do you do that? And I says, well, you just give me an agreement now that says you're giving me a contract right to buy your house sometime in the future upon your demise. And then when that happens, the money goes to wherever you want it to go, to wherever your heirs are. If you have relatives, anybody like that, the money goes to them. And we'll just start paying them instead of paying you. Really? Well, how's that work? Well, you got to come to one of my classes. But here's what I want you to know. Get to yes means yes, get to it. Write the offer, yes. Write the offer, yes. Write the offer. I know it sounds crazy, but we're in a numbers game. I write 10 offers a day, 300 a month on average. Some days I'll write 20 offers, and one day I might write 7. But the point is, at the end of the month, I'm written 300 offers. That for sure has to happen. Well, you know what that means? That means at least 1 out of 10, 1 out of 11, 1 out of 12, as current where my numbers are, where the person says, yes, I'll sell you my house, and we make those deals. Oh my God. Do you want writer's cramp to be able to pick up almost 1 house per day without ever having to go to a bank, without ever using personal credit or non-recourse finance? All that stuff is fantastic. And then you get to rent the house out and collect the money from the rent, and then you get to give it to the tenant. Give it to the seller. This is great stuff. And if the seller says, I thought you were going to live in the house. I never tell people I'm going to live in the house. I say it's an investment property for my own investment objectives. It goes into my portfolio. I talk like that. And then they go, oh, okay, that makes sense. And it'll be my money paying you for the purchase of that asset. That's it. Get to yes, write the offer. And we've talked about writing the offers. But now what I'm saying is, look, just writing it's not enough. You got to write a lot of them. And you got to say yes to everybody. Because I talked to one person, they said, well, I'm not getting any deals. Well, of course not. You got to create deals. You create opportunity. They don't just jump up and fall in your lap. You look at the elements and create it. And in creating it, you first have to say, yes, I will buy your house as long as everything you tell me checks out, and I have no reason to believe that it will not, and it's fiscally responsible for me to purchase it, and it's a win-win for both of us. You make that happen, and yes, we will absolutely buy your house, and now we got a long-term relationship, and this is the seed level of it. Thank you. My name is Don Day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.